All right, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David, and we have our monthly sponsors. We have Stephanie and Charles Sacco, and we have in memory of Avram ben Bracha, and we have to thank the Novoseller family, Carol and David Novoseller, and we have in memory also of David and Tracy Zaid, in memory of Ezra ben Esther. Okay, so all these people should have a beautiful, everything should get, all the tefillah should be answered. And you have one more name?
Adva. Bat Edith.
Bat Edith. Also should have a neshama, and neshama should have an aliyah.
No,
okay.
For
Oh, for Shalema. Slicha. Wow. Okay, everyone, let's get started. Okay, so we were learning this idea of the tzitzis, that the tchelis has some remarkable power, that it can take the din, and it can transform the din into chesed. Where we said what it can do is actually, we have the dam, the blood that we said when we have this review a little bit. We have 365 negative commandments in the Torah. We also have 365 blood vessels in us. And any time a Jew, Chas v'Shalom, does an Aveira, he's causing, so to say, a rupture in one of those blood vessels, spiritual rupture, not physical, spiritual rupture. And by doing that, he causes Adam Nida. Even in a male, yeah. Even in a male. And we said that not only that, what it does is, it actually affects up on high, where the Shechina Kedosha is now separates from the Rabbeinu Shalom. Because all of Nefesh Klali Yisrael makes up the Shechina, right? Makes up the Shechina Kedosha. All of Nefesh Klali Yisrael is the Shechina Kedosha. So when one of us does something wrong, we cause the Shechina, so to say, to be in a state of nida, whatever that means, and then it separates from the Rabbeinu Shalom. But when we do tshuva, a fascinating thing, we can rectify, we can turn the redness into white. The redness into white, like we did on Yom Kippur, right? We dipped the blood, the Sar Lazaza, we dipped the blood into and then if it turned white, we knew that we were forgiven. So too, we said that and how does it work? Let's say in a woman, it works like this: the blood is nekar, the blood decomposes, and it transforms into milk, right? A woman let's say, has a baby, so the blood, that dam nida it decomposes, and it turns into white milk. Not only that, but it can actually, it gives sustenance. It sustains the baby. Unbelievable. So tchelis has this power that when we look at our tzitzis, whether we have tchelis or not, we're going to say we don't know if we have tchelis today or not, but the concept is, when we look at our tzitzis, the tzitzis can clear up our minds in such a way to clear up the mind, to make the mind a good kli, so that way the seichel can rest into the mind. Okay, so now we're going to say that this is v'zeh daike kisheyesh tchelis shu bechinas hachro. Because when you have tchelis, you can be machriya, you can subdue, so to say, the bad, the evil. You can subdue it. Oz mutter shatnez betzitzis. When we said like this, so we said there's a phenomenon. You're not allowed to have shatnez. You're not allowed to wear a garment with wool and with linen. But if you put tchelis there. If you put chayla, so then you're allowed to have wool and linen together. There's no problem. Only because of the tchelas. Why? Because the tchelas, when we said that the wool is synonymous to chesed, the linen is synonymous to din, right? But when you have the tchelas, you recognize that really all of the din is really chesed. He realizes everything HaKadosh Baruch Hu does for us is really mamish a chesed. V'zeh daike kisheyesh tcheles shu bechinas hachra. Oz mutter shatnez betzitzis, aber bizman hazeh delega. But today, unfortunately, we don't have that. We don't have the tcheles today. The lake of Tcheles, we don't have it. Ki ein banu koyach bizman hagolos lahapach hagvuros lechasodim lahalben ha'ad mimos. We don't have the ability today, like it was in the time when we had the Tcheles, when we had all the glory of Klal Yisrael, that we're able to do this. But ikka tzitzis shalanu ein rak tzitzis levonim. We have the white tzitzis today. That's the main thing. Some people wear tchelas, some people wear the different things. But again, we don't have the Masorah for it. In other words, they may have discovered what it is, and they came to a drasha. This is what it is, but there's no lineage. There's no Masorah that runs back from Moshe Rabbeinu to what tchelas actually is, and that's what Rav Nosson is referring to here. So that way the din shouldn't attack us more. So that we don't want the din. We don't want to mess with the din too much, because then the din may attack us too much. Al kein bizman hazeh she'ein tchelas osa klayim betzitzis. And therefore today, because today we don't have the tchelas, it's also to have the shatness. We can't take the klayim when it comes to tzitzis. Ki ein banu koyach lachriya lasei shalom machma she'ein tchelas. We can't make that peace between the din and the chesed, because we don't have this beautiful the idea of tchelas. We don't have that in tchelas. When we see that, we recognize that the din is the chesed. We recognize that chesed is mamash me'es Hashem. We don't attribute it to anybody else but to Hashem. But we don't have that today.
Meaning, but we could, in our mind, we can go to that place and Bezrat Hashem recognize that everything's from a Kadosh Baruch Hu and win that battle. But you're saying that we can't totally conquer it.
We can't totally conquer it. No, Rav Nosson's saying that's why we can't have mamish tchelas. We can't have klayim today.
That we can't have wins in our life.
No, of course we can. No, naturally. No, he's discussing now. We started off that you can have what do you call it? Wool and linen together with tzitzis, and that was okay. But we don't do it today. So he's explaining why we don't do it today. Because we don't have the tchelas today, so we don't have that ability to have the two opposing factors together. Remember we said yesterday the two opposing factors together, and to mend them together, that you need the tchelas. So we don't have that today. That's what he's trying to say. It makes sense, no?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying. That's.
But we can still, in our minds, of course, in our mind, we can turn the din into chesed, of course, but we can't physically do it.
Okay.
We can't physically do it wearing the wool and the linen. So does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. Kidai lanu lavkia atzmeinu lahamshich levnunis latzmeinu. So yes, yachsu yoiser. By us, let's just have the whiteness. Let's see the white. Remember the white. To remember that the dam is nekar, it decomposes and it turns into the white. And we should remember that. That's a very big thing. To take the gevura and to mamish make it into a chesed. That's very hard to do.
Okay, what are you holding?
What?
What are you holding?
In tzitzis.
Which one?
Aleph.
Page Lamed Gimel.
Yeah.
Lamed Gimel.
Lamed Gimel. Ki tzitzis shall pishtin einoi noyeg rak bizman shahoya tcheles. If we would want to make our tzitzis out of linen, that we can only do if we would have the tcheles. Then there could be peace. Then you can have that recognition that it's all me'es Hashem. That you can understand that the din is mamish me'es Hashem, and really live it, and mamish feel it, But that you need the tcheles. That's the achra b'sholem. V'zeh b'chinas chamisha kisharim kefulim. That's why we have 5 knots that are doubled, right? On the tzitzis everyone make tzitzis. Yeah. So you make a knot and then you make another knot. So it's 5 knots doubled, right? Kefulim, right?
Why 5? It's 4 and 4.
Wait, no 5. You start the first one, then you make your group, another group, another.
Yeah.
We make it's 5.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. Everyone had a different. If you take a look, you have five.
Yes, 1,
2, 3, 4, 5. It's 10.
We count in the top of it.
Yeah.
The top is also 2.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
The top is so you have 5 altogether. Okay.
5 knots. 5 knots.
5 knots.
5
Kofel.
double knots.
שיש בציצים בכינס 5 חסדים ו5 גבוras. You have 5 chasadim and 5 gvuras shemehem nivnei begodim shehem bechinus malchus. We said that the beged is malchus. Why is the beged malchus? Because the same way you have all of the sfirot, right? You have the chesed, right? Malchus, and the malchus encompasses all of the all of the sfiros. So to the garments that we wear a garment that covers our body. So that's why the begodim is considered malchus. Okay, all right. Now, the hine yayoytzi mikol hanal shetzitzis ein bechinas tikkun hakloli. So tzitzis is this idea of, we spoke about this yesterday. Remember, David? Yeah. Tzitzis is an idea of tikkun hakloli. Why is tzitzis a tikkun hakloli? Because we said, what is tikkun hakloli? Tikkun hakloli is an all-inclusive tikkun. And what's the beauty of the tikkun hakloli? That it can reach all places that other tikkunim cannot reach. It can get to places, to little crevices and cracks and things that not regular tikkunim can make, but tikkun hakloli can do that. And we said that the tzitzis has the same idea. When you look at the tzitzis and you take the moment to see the strings of the tzitzis, you take a moment, look at the tzitzis. Look at the whiteness. Look how beautiful the tzitzis is. Look at that. And that also has the idea of tikkun hakloli, b'chinas shmiras habris. Shmiras habris, right? You know, there's a story in the Gemara, right? There was once a fellow that was going to do an Aveira, remember? He was going to go to Aveira. He went to some place, with this lady, ill repute, and he was very careful with the mitzvah of tzitzis. So when he was getting undressed, the tzitzis slapped him in the face, and he realized, whoa. It protected him. It saved him. The tzitzis saved him. Okay? So it's a tzitzis is a shmiras habris. It has an ability to save a person from pegama bris. Like we just mentioned before, tzitzis is a shmira for a person to get involved in immoral relationships and different things like that. Therefore, there are 39 wines, right? There are 39 wines. We were talking about that yesterday, right? The wines and on the tefillin, remember, the berudim and the... So you have 39 wines also on the tzitzis, right? Right? Zezeh bechinas shmiras habris. Why is that shmiras habris? Shu bechinas vov. Bechinas taisvis kedusha. What? Tosefet, adding kedusha. K'may shekos Rabbeinu b'mama ani Hashem hu shemi shekos v'tzitzis v'yisem kedoshim lelekeichem v'avov hu bechinas tal oiros. The vav is tal oiros. A new concept. The vav is tal oiros. It brings light. K'may shekos v'sham. V'heim bechinas hashleishim v'teisha krichos. That's why you have 39 these wines. Shleisha esrim chulais. Shehem bechinas avov. Okay, you got that?
No, not exactly. But the tal is lamed test, right? So
Yeah.
39 lights.
39 lights. That's tal. V'shira oirech hu shneim asar etzbois, and the shear of the tzitzis has to be at least 12 finger lengths, right? That's the minimum shear.
What's the shloshes rechaluyos?
The wines are also
13
wine.
is chuliyah.
Clear means holes, right?
Yeah.
How do we have 13 holes?
Or
How do you get what?
like loops.
The loops.
Chuliyos.
Those are the loops, yeah. When you loop, you want to look at the tzitzis?
No, I'm trying to figure out how we get to 13. Well, let me show you.
Okay.
Another aspect of it.
Yeah. A shloish esrei chuloi she'em bechinas hava. Okay. V'shir ha'irech hu shnei masa etzbois. Remesh ha'yedei shezocha l'tikun hakloli nichnal nishmaslei b'shnei masa shiftei ka. So beautiful, the inyan of the parsha. Right? We're holding with the shiftei ka now, right? Binyamin, right, was born, right? Unbelievable. So the tikkun, why Reb Nosson is saying, why does the tzitzis have to be 12 etzbais, at least 12 etzbais, to remind you of the shiftei ka? 12. Shezehu al yedei tikkun hakloli. K'may shekosa Rabbeinu al yedei tzitzis she'im tikkun habegadim. Tzitzis is the tikkun habegadim, bechinas tikkun hakloli. Like we understand that now, I hope. We just have to. Do we have more time now, David? 2 more minutes, okay? Oz hadiber mutter v'oz yichaylim l'daber diber hamiskabel. And then the words you can speak, and then your words can be accepted. We were learning in lesson Chav Tes, right? Lesson Chav Tes in Likutey Maran, that what does a person have to do in order for his words to be able to be heard? Sometimes we speak, but people don't hear us. We're saying something, but people don't listen to what we're saying. They're not hearing us. So how do you get people to listen to what you're actually saying? So Rabbi said over there that you have to put good into your words. Put good. People want to hear good. So put good into your words. How do you do that? By saying over Maisim of Tzadikim. Tell over the stories of Tzadikim. By telling over stories of Tzadikim will give you the ability to say good. People will be able to listen. This is what he means here. Oz adiber mutter, then you'll be able to talk. V'oz yichaylim l'daber diber hamiskabel. You'll be able to say words that people can accept. People will be accepting. And therefore, when we daven in the morning, shachris. So the main tefillah is we wear our tzitzis, we wear our talis, we wear the tzitzis and the talis. We wear the tzitzis. Al kain limei hakadosh baruch hu es Moshe seder hatefillah batifas tzitzis. And now we understand why when we had the Cheda Egel, and Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Shemayim, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed him the Yud Gimel Midas Arachim. It says, again, whatever that means, HaKadosh Baruch Hu was wearing a talis. He was wearing tzitzis. Whatever that means. Whatever that means. That's what the Gemara says, right? The Gemara says that. He was wearing a tzitzis. Moshe said that tefillah batifas tzitzis. The Gemara in Rosh Hashanah says that the Rebbeinu Shalom was misatef HaKadosh Baruch Hu betalis v'limdai leMoshe shleish esrei midas. HaKadosh Baruch, whatever that means, there's nothing physical with the Rebbeinu Shalom. Whatever that means. Ki shleish esrei midas ein bechinas tikunei dedikna. The 13 attributes of the 13 the points of the beard. Bechinas tzemer. Bechinas min hametzar karosika. We said min hametzar is the word tzemer. Right? When I have trouble, constriction, I have to cry out, and that's the tzemer of the tzitzis. So I know anytime I have constriction in my life, anytime I have any trouble in my life, I could look at the tzitzis, and it could bring me salvation. Bechinas talis sel tzemer. V'zeh perish tefillah la'ani ki atif lifnei Hashem yishba yisicha. And that's what the words of David HaMelech is. What does he say? The tefillah of the impoverished, you put on, your atif is enwrapped. Lifnei Hashem yishba yisicha with his talis. Hainu the atifas tzitzis shu lavash hashchina. That's the lavush of the shchina shu anya bigalusa. That's our when we're in galus. This is what we need to grab onto. K'maisha kosa b'zayir kodesh al yedei zeh lifnei Hashem yishba yisicha tefillah in front of Hashem. Pour out your heart. What is that? That's tefillah. Ki al yedei zeh yichalim l'daber. Through the tzitzis, it gives a person the ability to speak, and then people can hear. Not only that, he'll speak his words, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will listen to his words. That's the main thing. We want when we speak and we say a tefillah, Hashem listens to our words. And therefore we have to be very careful that our garments are clean when we're davening. We wear very clean garments to tefillah. When you have your begadim clean, That's an aspect of Tikkun HaKlali, again, because the tzitzis is an aspect of Tikkun HaKlali. And then he'll be able to say words. And of course, the words that we're talking about is HaKadosh Baruch Hu will hear your tefillah, the main Hashem. V'zeh shekasa b'svarim shemi shelovash shatnez ein tefillasei oila. If someone chas v'shalom is wearing shatnez on his clothes, he's wearing the klayim. He has the linen and thing. This tefillah won't go anywhere. It doesn't go up. Ki shatnez hu bechinas pegama begadim. Shatnez is the pegama the begadim. Because again, we don't have the treilas. Azai ein yochel l'dar bediba miskaba. You can't say the words. And now we understand why shatnez is so important. We understand why you can have shatnez when it comes to treilas, because you can understand you can take the gvura and turn it into chesed with the treilas, but we don't have that. Therefore, it's also to wear the shatnez today. Shkoyach, everyone. Have a wonderful day.